Welcome to the long-awaited Q&A. I don't know why it took so long for me to film this, but I think deep down I was kind of nervous because being vulnerable is not an easy thing. But here I am. I collected questions on Instagram and it was quite obvious what you guys were curious about because I got repeated questions on certain topics, so we're going to be covering all of that. Before we get right into it, I have one thing that I'm going to ask from you guys. I kind of want this to be a two-way thing. I will be spilling facts in this video. In any point of this video, I ask you guys a question. Please don't be shy to answer in the comments. I know I personally don't really comment on other people's video, but please. I don't want to be the only one yapping, okay? Let's get comfortable. Let's get into it. My name is Kelly Kim. I also want to touch on the fact that I did change this channel name. Let's go back 6 years when I started my channel. I decided to put Youjin as my channel name. That is my Korean name because I didn't want anyone to find out about my channel. Like my school people, my dance studio people. I just wanted to be kind of hidden. So I used my Korean name. In 2024, I have a couple of other social media channels other than my YouTube and they're all under Kelly Kim. And I just had this itch to full send, let's just change the YouTube name to Kelly so everything is unified because that just makes the most sense to me. But I was scared to lose some of you that know me as Youjin, and I didn't want to scare you guys off. I always want to be Youjin. I always want to be the same person I am to you guys. A lot of people told me that it's not that serious, so I just changed it, and I appreciate all the sweet comments. I saw some comments saying that whether you're Youjin or Kelly, we still love you, and I just want to say those words mean so much to me. But yeah, Kelly is my real name, legal name, but you can call me whatever you want. I will respond to you. Height and weight. I'm 170 centimeters tall. A lot of people are surprised by my height, and my weight kind of fluctuates between 53 kilograms to 55. Definitely a centimeter kilogram girl. If you're new here and you don't know who I am and what I do, I am currently a full-time content creator and full-time model. Modeling is something new that I started last year and it has quickly become a full-time job, which I'm really excited and grateful for. I can talk more about my modeling experience later in the video, but yes, that's what I do. I used to go to Chapman University for a marketing degree and I paused that for a little bit, and a lot of people also asked what's your plan with that, with the whole school thing. I am pretty confident to say that I don't want to go back to Chapman and I don't plan on going back for school and for my marketing degree just because life is so good for me right now and I don't feel the need to. But I am not against the idea of higher education if it's something that I want to do in the future. But I probably won't go to school for marketing because I just don't feel enough motivation and enough passion to be going to school for 4 years for that topic. And I live in LA. I think that is a important thing to add. I live in K-Town right now. I plan on moving soon, still within LA. I grew up in Alabama, Auburn, Alabama. Also lived in Chicago for a little bit. Also lived in Korea for a little bit. Diet, weight loss, weight control, workout routine. How I lost weight. What's so crazy to me is that in terms of my weight, it hasn't changed much at all. It's like within 3 to 5 pounds, but I look very different from how I did. Even like last year, I look much slimmer and more snatched, and people were asking if I did any type of diet. To be honest, I think it is a good mix of my eating habits and workout habits changing and also me losing a lot of baby fat. I did notice my change in taste buds. Like I don't crave as much sweets anymore as I did when I was 18. I don't keep a lot of sweets in the house, especially if it's a type of kind that I know I will want to binge eat, just because I have habits and history of binge eating. And instead I buy snacks that are more like a one-time snack. For example, I would rather buy like individual wrapped hard candy and eat that after every dinner rather than picking up a bag of peanut butter pretzels, because those things I will eat the entire bag in one sitting if I don't control myself, and it is very hard to control ourselves sometimes. My favorite refreshing food right now is Cava. I don't know if Cava is healthy, but to me it feels healthy. I get a lot of veggies in. I feel good when I eat it. It's yummy, and it is definitely a healthier alternative when I'm looking for quick food. I don't strictly control what I eat and what I don't eat. My usual pattern is that I have like a 8-hour eating window from 11 to 7 p.m. and during that time I eat whatever I want, whatever is going to make me full in a good portion. And I think that is important because when I was younger, I used to overeat just because I was just like, it's so 아까워, like I don't want to waste food. So I used to shove myself with food until I was like about to burst. And I realized that is not worth it. If I have to leave 2 spoonfuls of pasta because I'm full, I'm going to leave it just because I don't want to beat myself over it being so full and feeling guilty. I'd rather stop where I'm good and be satisfied with how I ate and feel good about myself. How to stop yourself from eating too much, someone asked. I would say don't fight it too much. If your body is really craving it, you need to have it. And I said it in my past videos, that is literally the joy in life. If you're craving something and getting it exactly when you need it is such a big joy for me. But if you have a specific health goal, you can still eat it in a smaller portion. You can share it with a friend. You can go with 4 friends and share the meal together and still get that craving in. And this is what I do sometimes, kind of unintentionally. If I know I'm going to eat something that I've been craving and maybe it's healthy, maybe it's not unhealthy, maybe it's just an expensive food, I know that I'll want to indulge in it, but I just can't. I will eat a filling snack beforehand so that I'll be satisfied with a smaller amount of food. I do this for like sushi because sushi is expensive, but this can also work for if you want to go eat Wingstop. I don't know what you crave. What do you guys crave? What's your favorite indulgent? What's your favorite guilty pleasure when it comes to food? First question. And any non-negotiable for me is I usually don't drink sodas. I also don't drink that much. I think that is a big thing actually. I drank a lot when I first turned legal drinking age in Korea, and that really made me gain weight. And once I stopped, I lost everything without doing anything. I rarely eat ramen or like heavily processed food. I don't eat too much sauce. And I try to work out more than 2 times a week. Workout routine, I do Pilates 2 times a week. Pilates has changed my posture, the way I work my inner muscle, my core. Such a good investment. I go to gym at least once a week. I've been obsessed with the Stairmaster recently, so that's what I've been going to the gym for. And then some other things that might go into the workout routine would be going on walks and golfing, because golfing requires a lot of walking as well. How I met my boyfriend. This is kind of a crazy, maybe not so crazy story, but we met at a bar. It was like a standing bar, and I was out because it was my friend's birthday. He was out because his friend was visiting from out of town. And I have never in my life approached someone first or even thought about approaching someone first. But I jokingly told my friend, I think that guy is cute, talking about my boyfriend. And then my friend was like, okay, let me go get him. Let me go talk to him. I did not want her to talk to him. I'm so shy when it comes to this type of thing. I don't want attention. But she was already on her way, and then he came over and we talked for a bit, and then we exchanged Instagrams. I gave him my fake Instagram, like my Finsta. He probably thought I was some low-key girl who's never on Instagram. Little did he know I'm a full-on influencer. Crazy enough, we actually had a lot of mutual friends, and these are friends that I know from my childhood. That was one thing that I could be like, okay, I don't think he's a complete creep. I don't think he's dangerous. And then we were messaging each other. We went on a ice skating rink date as our first date, and it just happened like that. And he is 5 years older. A lot of people are curious about the age gap. Shall we talk a little bit about skincare routine? I do have to say that I am lucky enough to have very great skin genes. My mom's skin is beautiful. My dad, his skin is pretty good, but it's half good genes and half good work that I do put into my skin, because I do work on my skin. Morning routine, I do cleanser. I know a lot of people don't use cleanser in the morning, but for me, it just feels right to wash off everything that I put at night. So I do cleanser, and then I do toner, serum, and then I go straight into sunscreen. At night, I will use oil cleanser. Even if I'm not wearing makeup, I'm usually wearing SPF, so I like to use oil cleanser to really get that off. And then I go in and double cleanse with a normal foam cleanser. I'll do like a toner pad, and then I'll do vitamin C, more of like a hydrating calming serum, eye cream, and then a cream to lock it all in. I'll exfoliate my skin 2 to 3 times a week. I use the Dermalogica Daily Exfoliant. I swear by that thing. I exfoliate because when the dead skin cell keeps piling up on your skin, that's what causes breakout sometimes, and also prevents your skincare from being properly absorbed. I will use sheet mask or like overnight mask cream 1 to 2 times a week. Usually if I go golf and I've been in the sun for a long time, I will come home and do a cooling sheet mask. And I use retinol mixed into my moisturizer as needed. This is when I'm dealing with acne scars, skin texture, tips on starting social media, and how to vlog. I think figuring out a pace of video that matches your personality and the type of video that you're trying to do is very important and not talked about enough. If you have more of a laid back personality and you want to do like chill daily vlogs, it makes sense to have certain like longer clips, more cinematic clips, calm music to really enhance that vibe. But if you're the type of person that wants to do travel vlogs or vlogs around productivity, you need faster clips. You need more upbeat music, and also don't be afraid to go out of your way to get certain angles and to get certain scenes. I don't want people to judge me in the streets. I don't want people to look at me in the streets, but sometimes I have to go out of my way and deal with people judging me to get certain clips, and every time they're worth it. A really good tip also is to not overshare and over-explain. People like to figure things out on their own. Give people some things to be curious about and figure things out on their own. And in terms of how to get started on social media in 2024, I say that it is important to be active on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Not just one, all 3, because I truly think that all 3 of these platforms serve different purposes. Instagram is like your aesthetics. TikTok is definitely the personality, and YouTube is all of the above, but you just get more time to talk about these things and to go more in depth. Fan meetup opportunities. I honestly don't know. Would you guys come if I did a fan meetup? Because in my head, I'm like, what if no one comes? And I also I don't know what I would want to do. I definitely prefer something more intimate where we can really have a conversation and get to know each other instead of like, hey, what's up? Bye. I don't know what that could be. Future plans and goals. Other than content creating and modeling, I do have one thing that is very exciting that I'm actively working on. My friend and I, since 2023, have been working on an online brand, and we're working on making this more of a physical brand and having a physical location in LA, in downtown LA. So you guys will see it soon this summer, hopefully end of summer, and you guys will be able to come to it and see it in person, experience it. So that is the big project. Hopefully that goes well so we can do more things with it. It is under the hospitality realm. How I got started on modeling. Modeling is something that I've been wanting to do since I was a little kid. I just never fully trusted myself that I can do it. And I was also embarrassed to get started because I was scared of failing. I submitted myself to these agencies. I didn't get casted. I've probably done like 3 to 4 rounds of applications where I didn't hear anything back, and last summer when I did, I was lucky enough to hear back from 2. I had a face-to-face meeting with 2 of these agencies. At the end of the day, I went for the first agency that reached out to me, just because the second one, I kind of felt like they were after my social media. I've been getting busier, which is kind of crazy, and I really don't know where modeling is going to take me in the next year or 2, but I'm excited to see it happen, and I'm just letting it happen. I don't have control over it, and I'm going to put in all of my effort to do the best that I can. How I edit and take Instagram photos and reels. Camera information. I do use my digital camera from time to time. It is unnecessary in my opinion. Digital cameras are nice for flash photography, but the one I have, I literally got off from eBay for like $20, and then it didn't come with batteries, so I ordered the battery on Amazon for like $10, so it was like a $30 investment. It's a vibe, but I honestly think iPhone's the best for taking Instagram photos. How to pose the best thing to do is just move around, and I try to not do this because I've been overdoing it, but like touching, like fixing the hair, fixing the shirt, fixing the pants, like putting the bag on and off, and letting your friend just like take it continuously. But what I've been into recently is just like straight on, just like give nothing. But I think it looks cool on Instagram photo, especially if the outfit is like the focal point of the photo. I rarely edit my Instagram photos. I think that if I have to edit my photo, it is taken wrong. Like I didn't have the right lighting. Yeah, lighting basically. Lighting is everything. I also think background is everything. What's behind me is equally, if not more important than me, because that makes up the entire photo. And how you take the photo is very important as well. And this is so frustrating to me because I can't really control that. I can't take photos of myself. So I always am on Pinterest, or I'm like saving photo angle ideas so I can show it to my friend. A cool artsy way to do it now is to go horizontal. I think that's pretty cool. I always try to find like colorful background these days to make my feed more colorful and more fun. Yeah, I'm like always on the lookout for a good Instagram background. I have a folder on my iPhone. You can actually add photos and move it around, which is ideal for curating an Instagram feed. So it looks like this. You can hold the photo and move it around to see how your feed would look like. For me, I really think about the composition. I used to follow a very strict filler photo to a person photo and rotate, but I've been trying to let that go a little bit. Look at the top row, the black background and the yellow background. I'm basically in the frame of the photo in the exact same composition. And to me, that's a no because it's too similar, it's too repetitive. This though, where the top row is me standing straight and the photo in the middle is me kind of like moving around, that works because they're two different things. How I think I've changed. I don't know about changing, but I consider growing up as a change as well. And I've definitely grown up a lot since I was making high school content. I don't know about you guys, but for me, the jump from like being 20 to 21 was insane. My life turned upside down. I feel like I became a totally different person. I still am who I was, more of an evolved version. And I know I see comments like, I miss how you were when you were in high school. I miss your personality when you did those high school vlogs. But it is fair to say that it is quite normal for someone to grow up and to not be the same person you were when you were 18. Like that would be pretty abnormal. When I was younger, I felt like I had to find myself, find my personality, find my style, and be this one specific type of person. But growing up, I realized that you're never going to be a one specific type of person, even when it comes to personal style. I will never want to lock myself up in one adjective that describes my style because I can be everything. I'm always changing. I'm always evolving, and I put myself under less pressure to find things out about myself or to be a certain way because I know it's impossible. I also think that I am less of an overthinker. I try to think that life is more simple than we make it, and this is something that I always think to myself. Like if someone wanted to do well on a test, you study. If you want to run a marathon and complete it, you train for it, you run. That type of mindset helps me get through life a little bit easier. Like you need to detach your feelings from certain things in certain situations. I can't be so frustrated that my house is so messy and that the environment is affecting the way I work and that I feel so lazy and I feel so useless. It's going to be an endless hole where I just doubt myself and where I put myself down. When I apply this mindset, the solution is quite simple. I just have to clean. I think I'm more relaxed. I stopped measuring my success or even like how good my day was from my productivity. I can have a good day without being productive, without doing much. I can be in bed all day, but if I enjoyed it, it was a good day for me. How do I afford my lifestyle, rent? Do my parents support me? My parents have not supported me financially since I was 17, and ever since I moved out of my family's house. The food that I eat out, the clothes I buy have never come from my parents' pocket. Do understand where this question's coming from because I'm a freelancer. I make my own money. I'm not under a corporate paycheck where it gives me a paycheck first of every month. It is unreliable. And even though there's good amount of money in the influencer world and in modeling world, having an unreliable and inconsistent source of pay is scary. To resolve this a little bit, I have a social media manager that helps me spread things out. I have my modeling agents that basically do the same thing for me. And because of this worry, I have a savings account open for emergency funds, and I have about 5 months of living expenses. So that means being able to pay my rent, being able to pay my car payments, insurance, and living costs, food, paying the utility bills, all that. How to deal with career crisis. I know this is way easier said than done. If you're having a career crisis because there's like 3 things that you want to try, you don't know what's the best, I say try all of it. And don't be afraid to fail, because failing will be a good redirection for you. If it doesn't work out, you move on to the next. And I can say this because I see so many people around me that have gone through so many career crises, trying different things, not knowing what they want to do. And from a hater's perspective, you can see that and think, wow, they really can't figure themselves out, and they're like doing all this, trying all this, but they can't make it, like sucks for them. These type of people always end up finding something that sticks with them. And I've seen it. That could have only happened to them because they were trying all of that. My go-to coffee order is iced Americano. Right now I drink a double shot Americano. I am shaking. Usually I do a single shot Americano because I'm pretty sensitive to caffeine. Vanilla oat latte is a good one, or an iced matcha with oat milk, no sweetener. Favorite spot in LA? Where have I been going to recently? This is basic, but I've been really liking West Hollywood again. I love walking by like Glossier, Alfred, The Real. There's a farmer's market there every Sunday, I believe, so that's really fun to go to. I love going to the beach. Venice Beach is my favorite. There's a little area between Venice Beach and Santa Monica Beach that's more laid back, and there's a lot more street parking there, so I go there all the time. Fashion role model. I really love Devin Lee Carlson. I really love Lucy McFadden on Instagram. There's a Korean influencer, fashion influencer. Her name is Minju, and I also am always inspired by her outfits. Favorite brand these days? I really love the brand called Belle the Label. I've been obsessed with polka dots. I used to hate polka dots. I don't know what it is. It is suddenly catching my eye. And they do a lot of polka dots, a lot of ruffles, super girly. I really love sweet chilling. And there's this brand called Ohisio, and I'm also very much obsessed with the brand. My favorite perfume, sorry to disappoint you, I am not really a perfume girl. I never really wear perfume unless it's like a special occasion, but I always reach for Glossier You. Ilio by Diptyque is my summer scent. And then there's this new Jo Malone perfume that my friend gifted me. I've been wearing that a lot. I think that is it. My favorite late night snack, Raising Cane's. I could eat Raising Cane's for every meal, I think. Fried chicken with the Raising Cane sauce. But my favorite part is the toast. It's so good. How long I want to be in LA? I went through a phase earlier this year where I really wanted to move out of LA, but for the sake of my modeling career, I think it's right for me to stay in LA. I could see myself living in New York in my 20s. I could also see myself living in Chicago. Maybe that could be in my 30s. How to save money? I have a system within my banking account that helps me save money. If you keep all of your money under just one checking account, I think you could implement this system to help you save money. My sister told me to do it, so I just did it. But I have a checking account where all of my bills and my rent goes out from. So I need to keep a certain amount of money in that checking account so that my bills are being paid properly. But other than that, the rest of my money will be separated into 3 different savings accounts and one investment. One investment is just like retirement, Roth IRA, and then the 3 different savings account I have: one for emergency funds, one for tax because I am a freelancer and I have to pay my own taxes. Third savings account is my fun. If I want to treat my friend for their birthday, I will pull funds from that account. If I want to go on a Japan-Korea trip, I will pull money from that account. If I have any desire to restart my podcast, to be honest, I don't think so. Just because I've learned from my mistakes and my past experiences that having a podcast is a great responsibility. Being able to talk to people and to talk in front of a huge crowd of people is a great responsibility that I'm not sure if I have the courage to take that responsibility on. And I don't know if I have great points to make anymore, at least not alone. If I wanted to do a podcast, a platform where I can talk, I would want someone there with me. Finding that perfect partner is kind of tricky. And I have this great fear of speaking now. I feel like when I speak, I feel like I can't really speak. I think I need to build this confidence back up. But if you guys have a favorite podcast recently, let me know, because I also just haven't been a podcast person for so long. I don't listen to podcasts anymore. But I don't know what it's like to be a podcaster in 2024. We are going to wrap this video up with more of a wholesome question. Someone asked, what's the most important thing in life to you besides money, friends, and love? For me, I would say it's the experiences and the ability to really shape and build the person I am. Seeing more of the world and meeting different types of people. I want to be the most versatile version of myself, and I want to take good traits from all sorts of people, and I think experiences do that for you. Being out in different social scenes, interacting with different culture, I think that makes you into a smarter person, more of an open mindset. This is difficult because I can do all this work to work on myself, but if other people in the world don't put in the same work and aren't at the right mindset as me, they're just going to judge all they want. They're always going to think that they're better, that their ways are better, when I'm constantly working on accepting everyone and accepting different points of views, being a versatile person. But if they can't be versatile back, like, what's the point of me working hard on myself? Like, it's not fair. But I think being okay with that some people are just going to be the way they are, and not judging them for being the way they are, also is under this category of experiences. If you weren't insecure and if you were just so happy with who you are, you would never judge another being. And I want to be at that level. I don't think I'm quite there. Also, one last thing, I'm sorry. Someone asked, like, how do you stop comparing yourself to other people and how to get out of that comparison mindset? I don't know if this is going to help you that much, but this is what I think. I've been on both ends of this. Being the person to be jealous of someone who's better than me and comparing myself as the inferior. And I've also been on the other side where I'm so arrogant and think that someone else is not as good as me and comparing myself that way. There's no true happiness that comes out of this comparison. Even if you're the superior one and you're thinking, haha, I'm better than you suck. There's no true happiness that comes from that. At the end of the day, everyone is chasing for happiness and feeling good about themselves. If being the superior one in comparison doesn't bring happiness, we should all just work for being happy with ourselves, being happy within our own standards, and not having to compare ourselves to meet someone else's standards. That's all I have to say. That is it. I hope this was a good opportunity for you guys to see what goes on inside of my head and in my life. This is a good starting point, right? From here, we can get into more fun, juicy questions because you guys will maybe feel like you know me, and we will continue having more fun Q&As through Instagram Q&As, and I also want to do TikTok lives. Sounds scary, but I want to try it, so be there if you're real. Don't forget to reply to my questions. I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys. Bye.